Hi guys, welcome back to my doll room and channel. As I'm filming this right now, it is late evening. It's after 10 p.m. and I'm getting ready to go to sleep. But I just wanted to come on and share with you some of my favorite mass market kids that I got in this last month or so. I've been doing a lot of videos on my soft sculptures that I've been having come in from Babyland or other collectors. My vintage 1979 signed baby that came in was really special, and I've had a few CCEs that I was lucky enough to get my hands on. I've had some great softies coming in, and I love the softies. Like, they're just in my heart and soul. But I also do love the mass market kids because obviously that was the first Cabbage Patch kid I ever had, which again is Gigi back there over my shoulder sitting on the shelf, the redhead girl with the braids, and she's got her purple portrait dress on. That is not the dress she came in, but as you saw in another video, I chose her to wear it, and she's fishing. But she was my first cabbie, and so she was a Calico. Obviously that would be your mass market, right? Mass market kid. Calico was the company that started it all for mass marketing the Cabbage Patch Kids, and so therefore mass market kids I love as well, especially the Calico ones, obviously. But I also still did collect a little bit into that Hasbro era when I was a teenager. Like I said before in a previous video, kind of on the down low. I wouldn't want my friends to know that I was still getting Cabbage Patch Kids, but obviously doll collecting was just something that was going to be a love of mine for the rest of my life. So, you know, I kind of could just tell that early on that I just adored them. I would love if I was on vacation up north. You know, again, I'm originally from New Jersey, but sometimes we would go on vacations up north, like to New Hampshire or Massachusetts in the summertime, and we would usually stay in a little cabin on a lake, and my mom would say, let's go around and look for antiques or go to doll shops, and that was right up my alley. I absolutely love that. And that's one of the first times I actually saw a Cabbage Patch Kid softie in a doll shop. I think it was up around the New Hampshire way. So I knew they were really special. It was so much money. My mom said there was no way I was getting it. And then therefore I had to collect many more softies eventually over the years. But again, I just wanted to come on to share with you this time some of my favorite mass market kids that I got most recently. Now, a couple of them, I believe I have already kind of previewed for you, that in some of my recent videos at the end I took you around the doll room and you probably saw them. But I thought, since I didn't do really unboxings on these kids, that I would share them with you now. So I've got 5 kids that I want to share with you, and let me see, I don't know if I can remember the order of them, but I guess we'll start with 2 of the Jesmars. So while I was in Sedona, I saw this little girl on Mercari, and I really wanted a lemon yellow blonde kind of hair colored girl for my Jesmar collection. If you see up on the shelf, you probably can't see very well, but I've shown it in previous videos, my Jesmar shelf. I have a lot of the wheat colored hair, that gold colored hair, and I have a couple of brunettes, but I didn't have any lemon yellow blonde girls. I had the one boy with the loops, but not girl. So when I saw her, I just fell in love with her. I usually like to try to get bargains on my Jesmars. Like, I'm looking for them more in the $30 to $50, $60 range, the ones that maybe need a little TLC, because I am not afraid to throw them in the washing machine. Some of you have asked how I wash my dolls. I just throw them in the washing machine. I threw the 1979 in the washing machine. Like, I know that these dolls hold up. I only had a problem one time with the head almost coming off of one Jesmar, and that's because the stitches were extremely loose, and if I had noticed that beforehand, I would have secured them before putting him in the wash. But again, I do feel like the Jesmars are a little bit more floppy, their bodies, so they might not be as sturdy as the Calicos. So that is the only time, but I've thrown so many of these dolls in, and I'm talking about your mass markets and your softies, even my precious 1979. So I just have no qualms about it because I really trust that they're going to be fine, and I see how beautiful they come out. As long as you put them in a pillowcase and you secure it, and I put it on the gentle cycle, they typically come out great. I wouldn't put them in with I wouldn't put her in, let's say my 1979 with a red shirt or anything. I'm gonna make sure that obviously I put them in with colors I don't think are gonna run if I'm putting other things in there. Just make sure you have your neutrals and you should be fine. So they come out wonderful. I mean, I had one that was so dirty I had to put her through the wash 2 or 3 times, but I do for my softies, if they're hand signed especially, I make sure I cover them up with like a large bandage, and I put little straight pins around to make sure it stays on, and then I remove that before putting them in the dryer to protect the signature, and I found that that works really well. But that's a little side story. So anyway, I typically like to get my bargain basement Jesmars and give them a little fixing up. If I can see that with a little bit of my own elbow grease, some stitches here, some washing, just redoing their hair, that they're going to be beautiful, I have no problem with getting a TLC, and I actually kind of find them fun. I enjoy the challenge to make this poor doll that is had a rough time there come back to life and restore its former beauty. So I really enjoy that. Plus it's great to get a bargain, right? You know, I buy a lot of kids here, a lot of cabbies, so I need to kind of pinch pennies when I can do that. So this girl, coming around to the point of the story, this girl was not like your bargain one. She was around 100, which is like, yeah, a kind of a normal price for a nice Jesmar. And I went back and forth about it, and finally I decided I really wanted her. She was one of the prettiest ones that really stood out to me that I'd seen, and I picked her. She's got those eyes that kind of look like violet. They're kind of towards the purple. So here she is, and I just think she's adorable. I did show her on the shelf in a previous video. She's got that typical Jesmar pony that's kind of sticking up all crazy in the air like they do, which is just absolutely adorable. But I just thought she was so pretty. Look at the adorable freckles, the color of the eyes. So I believe that I did change her dress, because I'm trying to remember what she might have come in. Oh, she came in a little pretty handmade dress, but I wanted to put her in a Cabbage Patch Kid dress, and it was a very nice dress. But here she is. So I went for her. I wanted a really cute blondie girl, and so I got this one. And that one I bought while I was up in Sedona, and then so she came after I returned from my trip. So this is one of my adorable mass markets I got this month. And then this one, I believe I got after this one. This little guy is another Jesmar. No freckles on this one, which that's a little bit more rare for your Jesmars. And he was on OfferUp out in Connecticut, so luckily the seller shipped, and he was like a great price. I think he was around like $50 or $60, and so he was a great deal for a Jesmar. He was, I believe, in different clothes. He was not in this for sure. He was either in the buff or he was in different clothes. I believe he was in clothes, because I distinctly remember he had an odor. I don't know what that odor was, but it was very strong. It took a couple of washings to get the odor out. I am very sensitive to odors, so I like them to smell clean. So this guy, I mean, he smells good now, but even after like a couple of washings, I could still smell it faintly, but I think it kind of wore off. He smells much better now. So he cleaned up nicely. He was a little bit dirty. He was a little stinky, you know, but overall he was in really good shape. And then I found this outfit on eBay, and I think I had already purchased it and it was just kind of an extra cute outfit that I knew I could put on one of the kids. So I decided to put it on him. So he's a second mass market kid that I got this month, an adorable little Jesmar boy. And he looks a lot like my second Cabbage Patch Kid, my first boy that I got, and his name was Davy. Irvin David was his name, but I called him Davy. And he looked very similar, but obviously he was a Calico, but he had the same head mold, which this would be the number 3 head mold, and the same looped kind of similar auburn colored hair. So he looked very similar to this little guy, but this guy has that distinct Jesmar look, if you know what that is like. So he's a Jesmar boy, and he's adorable. All right, so that was another special mass market. I already did a video with this girl, which I think she's just beautiful. I love her. I wanted also another Jesmar girl that had red hair. I only have one. She's in box. She's an Italian marketed one with the Italian writing on the box, so she is not on the shelf with the other Jesmars. So on that shelf I did not have a redhead because my redheaded Jesmar was in the box, and I didn't want to remove her from that Italian box, which is very special. So I needed a redhead, and this is the one that I got for like $30 on eBay. A total fixer-upper. She wasn't even labeled as a Jesmar, and she definitely needed some work. She was in really rough shape before. Her hair was a disaster, but she cleaned up very nicely, and I put her in this cute little outfit, and I just love her. Oh, she had marker on her face too. She still does. Here, I'll show you guys. She still has it. I still have to put in more time with the acne cream and the sunlight, but it takes so long, you know. But you can see she does have a little bit of highlighter still on her face. But luckily, she's a passy kid, so when that passy is in, which I always keep the passies in on my passy kids because they look kind of a little, you know, they look a little silly without them. They're like, ooh, you know? So they really kind of are meant to have that passy in there. So, I mean, with the passy in, you don't really see it, and she's just adorable. So I absolutely love her. So another Jesmar without freckles. So I got 2 Jesmars without freckles this month for my mass market kids. And then I'd like to show you this girl next. This girl I got for a great deal for a number 19. This is a number 19 head mold. She is a Calico. I'm pretty sure she was Calico. Let me check her tag, because her clothes are not that like designer style. She's more in that traditional. Yes, she's a KT Factory Calico kid. So she has the beautiful lemon yellow blonde ponies. She is a number 19 head mold, and she was a little over 100. I want to say maybe about 125 on eBay. And so, as many collectors know, the mass market kids, particularly the more sought after head molds like the number 19, the number 19s have been going for crazy prices in the last few months, like hundreds of dollars. Like there's been some that are like 500, like if they're a little bit harder to find, like maybe your AA number 19s. So they've been really going at high prices. This girl, I noticed before I was going to bed that her auction was going to go off kind of in the middle of the night to very early morning hours. And so I just kind of, I usually when I like to bid on eBay, I always kind of am there to bid at the last minute to make sure I can increase the bid if I need to, or get that last minute bid in, because it's just kind of an easier way to win, honestly. But for this girl, I was going to bed and I just said, I really would like her, but I'm not getting up in the middle of the night, so I'll just put in a bid of whatever amount. I don't remember what I did, whatever I'm willing to pay at the highest, and see what happens. And I was hoping that there wouldn't be a lot of people awake at the time she was going off, that maybe I would luck out and get her, and I did. So she was a pretty good deal for right now, for the way that the prices have been going for number 19, because I believe this was her original outfit, you know, so from what I believe the auction said it was, so I think so. But if not, it totally looks like it could be. I do have another girl, she's a number 17 head mold that has almost the same dress, so I'll probably pull her down in a sec and show you guys. But she didn't have shoes, so I put these shoes on her, which are actually for one of my softies. One of my softies are wearing sneakers right now, so I put these shoes on her. But anyway, she looks absolutely adorable, and she even came with her papers, guys, and you're never gonna guess what her name is. I did not say this in the auction. When I looked at the papers and I saw her name, I was like, you've got to be kidding me right now. With the 1.5 to 2 years we've been having here on this planet, this is this girl's name. But here it is. Take a look. Yeah, her name is Corona. Corona. So Corona Peggy is her name. So she's the most pleasant, sweetest Corona that I guess you're gonna find. So Corona Peggy, October 1st. But obviously, you know, back in the day when she was made, probably the only Corona that anybody knew about was the beer. I don't know, I think Corona beer was out in the 80s, but I'm not even sure because I didn't drink beer back then. I was a little kid, so I'm not sure, but that's her name. She's little Corona Peggy. So, let's see. I have one more that I want to show you, and she just actually came in, was it yesterday? I think it might have been yesterday. I got her off of Mercari, this last one, and this one is another kind of sought after head mold. It's the number 17 head mold. She's a corn silk, and she was in really rough shape. She was quite dirty. If any of you follow, you might have seen her because she was on there for a bit, and the seller kept lowering the price. I wasn't gonna get her. But the seller kept lowering the price, and then eventually it got so low, like, because these usually go for about 100 or more too, the number 17s. So eventually it got so low, like in the 60s, and then I was like, I could offer a little lower, and the seller accepted my offer. So I think I got her for 60 or under, which is a great price for a number 17. So here she is. I washed her hair. I did my special method like I did with my previous corn silk, the number 19, and I had posted in some of the groups. I think I did a video with her about how beautiful her hair came out. Well, this girl, after she went through the wash, her body was dirty when I got her. Her face was filthy, her body had stains. She came out great after the wash, but her hair was a mess. You know, after she went through the dryer and everything, her hair was like stiff and sticking out and fizzy as could be. So I washed it. I put special hair product in that kind of softened it up. I combed it through, you know, let her dry, and then it came out really pretty actually. So then I just decided to braid it because I was like, what look do I want for her? I want the overall look, kind of like the other Jesmar girl, not other, but the Jesmar girl, the redhead I showed you. So I like the girls in these little overalls. I think they look so cute. So I put sneakers on her as well. Oh, her shoe's kind of falling off, honey. But I just think these really fit the big softies better, but they kind of can work with these guys too. They just look like their feet are a little bit big, but I put little orange ribbons on the bottom of her braids, but I thought she looked cute like that. So she's only my second number 17 head mold, guys. I don't have a lot of these. Again, they are pricier, the 17s and the 19s. So I'm gonna actually pull the other number 17 down off the shelf and show you her as well. So hold on one second. So here she is. This is the other one, and I think she came with papers as well. She might have even came in the box, or she had just been taken out of the box and then I got her. If she came in the box must have been in rough shape if I took her out. I don't think she came in the box, but I think the seller said she was barely just out of the box and then sent, and she was in like brand new condition. I think I did not even wash her because she was just in brand new condition. And I think her name was something like Eleanor. I have her papers put away in the drawer back over here, but you can see she's wearing a dress that's kind of almost the same as this girl, so obviously they must have been around the same era. They're a little different. They're not exactly the same, but they both have the rainbow fabric, so it looks like the same fabric was used to make them. The style is a little different with the placement of where the lace is on each dress. The collars are, you know, a little different, so they are different, but they're very similar, as you can see. So this girl, I've had her a few months, I want to say now, and she was my only number 17. So I really wasn't trying to get another one, but I always watch for the number 17s and 19s because if I see one at a good price, I like to go for it. And so when I saw how cheap this girl was down to, I was like, oh, I have to go for it because she looked a mess, honestly. She looked in rough shape, but I just knew that she would fix up. She would fix up just fine after going through the washer, and you know, after I did up her hair. You know, I don't know, these corn silks, some of their bangs are a little weird. Even with trying to style it, the bangs don't go exactly right. They kind of are crazy. I just kind of think it looks better when you pull them up almost, because if you put it down too much, it just looks silly. But she's a cutie. She's got the chubby cheeks, you know, the number 17. They have the slightly open mouth. You could see 2 little teeth on the bottom. So they really have that chubby baby face. So these are my 2 number 17s. One with the yarn hair, one with the corn silk. And yep, so that's my mass market kids. I did get, I believe the one more, which I had in the one video showing. That's just not what I want to feature. I mean, he was just a preemie that came in a purple duck dress. I was trying to buy the purple duck dress, and so it just happened to come on the preemie. The doll came with it, so I wasn't gonna say don't send the doll, but that whole thing I mentioned in the previous video, the doll just smelled so bad, so musty. The head, it was mainly coming from the head. I never took a head off a doll before, but I took the head off this one, you know, cut the zip tie, did the whole thing, pulled out that plug, and I had to soak it for days. I mean, even after soaking in vinegar and water, and I put bleach in water and all sorts of things, it just was still smelling. And I'd put it in the sun, and it was just a lot. So finally it got to the point where I'm like, it's not bad. I could smell it faintly still, because again, I have a very sensitive nose to these things and smells, but finally I just put the head back on, and I'm not really good with that. Like, I've never done it before, so I feel like the head could be on better. Like, I would feel uncomfortable to sell that doll because I'm like, is the head gonna fall off? Did I do an okay job reattaching it? I don't know. You know, it was a little hard for me to do because I'd never done it before. I couldn't put the head plug back in because the plug cracked in trying to get it out. It was like this brittle old plastic. It was made out of plastic. I was surprised. And it just broke when I was trying to take it out. So I just left it out, put a little extra stuffing in the neck area, and sewed that doll back up. So I did show him in the one little thing when I spun around the doll room recently. So he's actually in my bedroom now with a couple of the other mass markets on the shelf. But he's just not one I'm extremely proud to show. So I just left him out of this video, but poor little guy. But anyway, so let me just do a quick recap for you, and then I am out of here. I'm gonna go to sleep. I am tired, guys. So I've got this cutie little number 17 head mold corn silk girl that I just got in yesterday. She cleaned up very nicely. This girl, I've had her a couple months, but I just pulled her down to show you. She's my other number 17, and she's wearing a dress almost just like one of my most recent additions, which was from this month, which is Corona Peggy. So she's wearing this beautiful rainbow dress, just like her number 17 head mold sister. So absolutely adorable. She's just a bundle of sunshine, right? And then I've also got a beautiful lemon yellow single pony Jesmar girl who is just so beautiful that I spent, you know, like your full price Jesmar price, about $100 on that one. I got this bargain basement boy for about $60 off of OfferUp via shipping. He came from the East Coast, from Connecticut. So he's just adorable. He's so cute. And then this one was really bargain basement. My $30 redheaded Jesmar girl, who I'm absolutely in love with. I just think she's so stinking cute. So anyway, thanks for joining me, guys. As always, here in the doll room, I hope you enjoyed seeing the babies. Again, these are probably the two most recent, so I'm gonna hold them up to say goodbye. Thanks again for watching, guys, and if you'd like to see more great Cabby videos, please don't forget to like, subscribe, and share. It really does matter. It really does help other people be able to find these Cabby videos easier if you do like. So I would greatly appreciate it, and have a great rest of your day, week, and whenever it is that you're watching. Bye, guys.